Hi, this is CBRadioMagazine.com, and today we're going to look at the Cobra 75WX-ST. This is a compact remote mount CB radio. Basically has a handheld unit, and then there's an actual base part unit that mounts separately out of the way, so that all you'll have actually showing in the vehicle for the most part is going to be the handheld portion of the unit. So let's open up the box and we'll go through the features and show you what this unit's all about. So the Cobra 75WX-ST is a two-part unit. As you can see, there's part number one here, which is our remote mounting part. That's where your power wires come in. It's also where your coax connects, and there's also an external speaker jack. Really isn't a whole lot inside that control box. There's really no need to open it. There's no adjustable controls or anything inside of there. You can't really mod it for more power from there. So no reason to open that up. Basically inside you'll just find the power wires going in the speaker jack and the output wires going out here on your jack that runs to the main unit. So this jack is like a 5-pin microphone type connector. One of these is hot, so make sure you don't try and connect a standard 5-pin mic or anything to this unit. You'll blow it up. This is designed to only work with the main unit that connects to it. And here we have the main unit. This is the main hand radio, basically. This is basically a handheld type unit that connects to the power and out to the coax jack. The microphone is located here in the front of the radio, as well as the speaker is located here, and it's underneath this sticker. We can remove the sticker and then you'll be able to see the speaker holes. So the speaker and the microphone are mounted on the front faceplate. Underneath inside the board is mostly surface mount technology, and the actual final transistor and most of the parts for the radio are inside the handheld unit. The final transistor is actually down here in the back, and we'll show that once we get inside the unit. It's got a little bit of venting here for heat. As the full transistor and board is all located in the unit, peaking these to try and get more power out of them isn't a great idea. Anytime you have something that's in such a small housing, it's going to have issues with heat and early failure rate. I did find a way to boost the modulation a little bit. I'll show you where that pot is on here, but overall I really don't suggest doing much to these radios. Okay, so let's power the unit on. We'll turn the volume knob. And turn it up, you can hear the static. We'll turn the static off. Okay, as you can see on the display, it shows the channel. It shows that we're in AM mode, and it shows that we're in RX receive mode, and there's your meter on the side there showing your receive S units. If we push the push to talk button here on the side, you will see it key showing the output power. We can change channels using the channel changing buttons on the side there, so we can go up or down in frequency. The memory button, I've messed around just storing some frequency in here. If you want to retrieve a memory function, one of the channels, you can jump to it. So you press the memory button once, press the channel you want to jump to. So I've stored channel 1 in the memory 1 button, M1. If I want to go to M2, I press memory M2. I've stored channel 6 in there, and M3 and M4 and so on. Now if we want to store a frequency, so let's say we want to store channel 23 in M4, what you do is you press the memory button once, then you hold down M4 until it beeps. Now we've stored channel 23 in the M4 location. Sound tracker button, of course, we press that, you'll see the sound tracker function pop up there. It's supposed to reduce some of the noise. I personally never really like it, but some people like to use it. The CB weather channel, if we press that button, it'll jump into a weather channel function, and you can see you can scroll through available 9 weather channels.
10 miles an hour. Tuesday night. Rain likely. Lows in the 50s.
And as you can see, we can hear the weather channel, so that does work fairly well. The scan function, we'll go back to CB mode by pressing that CBWX button again. And in scan mode, basically, if you turn the squelch up, so if we have the volume up and you turn up the squelch there, if we hit the scan button, it's now going to scan through every single channel and look for someone talking, as you can hear. And it'll go through all the channels until it finds someone talking on a certain frequency. And then you can turn up the squelch and it continues scanning. The dual watch button, the DW button, you can set it up for two different channels to watch both those channels for any frequency breaks from people talking. So what you do to set that, so let's say channel 6 is the channel we're on, we want to check the two channels that we programmed in. We press that dual watch button, it'll start jumping, and we've programmed in 17 and 14. So it'll just listen on 17 and 14 now, and if someone talks, we'll hear it. You can turn that off by pressing that. Now if you want to store, like pick those frequencies, so let's say we'll do channel 6 and channel 1. So we'll hold down the DW button until it beeps. Now it's picked channel 6, and then we'll cruise down to channel 1. We'll hold that one down. And now it'll dual watch between channel 6 and channel 1. Channel 9 and 19, of course, goes to channel 9. Channel 19, press it again to return back to normal. The lock button will lock you out from doing anything on the radio. And of course our volume and squelch knobs, I'm sure you're quite familiar with. One other interesting thing is if you hold down the memory button for a couple seconds, it says 3 seconds in the manual, but it's more like 5 seconds, it will switch to a frequency display, and it'll show the frequency that you're on instead of the channel. So for audio and output on this unit, when we key this unit, we're seeing about 3 watts. With regular talking into the unit, we're seeing about 6 watts max. With the whistle, it will swing up to around 9 to 10 watts with a real strong whistle, but otherwise you're basically yelling to try and get it to go above 6 watts. So this is the inside of the remote unit, and you can see the power wires coming in, the backside of the coax connector, the external speaker jack. So there is an external speaker jack on this unit, so if you do want an external speaker instead of the tiny one that's inside the hand unit, you definitely are going to get a little bit better sound. Not a whole lot going on here. This is just basically where the power is coming in, and you can see the coax connector piece running up inside the wire that runs up to the main unit that you hold, and we'll open up that unit for you as well. Once we removed the face plastic on the unit, you can see the control knobs and the board on the front part. The back part of the unit is probably of more interest to people. As you can see, it's surface mount technology, and everything basically for the radio is installed in this back little section, including the final transistor here at the bottom. Most people would try and look for a modulation adjustment. It's been posted widely that there are no modifications for this particular radio, which is actually false. You can adjust the modulation on this radio. I think most people just didn't know where the pot was. The adjustable location for the modulation on the 75WX is right here. It's a continuous pot, meaning that it doesn't have a set point. So if you turn it all to one way, it'll actually just keep turning. So you have to just adjust it. The side here is going to be lower modulation. The side here is going to be higher modulation. So if you adjust it so it's pointing more towards the higher modulation side, it will boost your modulation. Brought up the audio on the unit quite a bit. It did swing then from about 3 watts up to about 8 watts just with audio, and with the whistle you could easily hit 10. Now the transistors in this unit is going to get very warm, so if you run this radio like this, you may run into overheating issues and failure fairly quickly. So it may not be recommended to turn up the modulation to try and swing more wattage or get more audio out of it. Or if you do turn up the modulation, you may want to try and lower the output power of the radio. So that's just a little mod we thought we'd point out for this.